So I wanted to go over just the chord changes to deal really quick today. It's got some really cool chord changes. One thing that's really interesting is the chord changes of the verse, of course. It's all built around, you know, an A major chord, and during the chorus switches to A mixolydian. But let's start with just the main riff. We kind of got like an A power chord. Just, you know, root, open A, the 5th E, which is 2nd fret, and octave. You just bar 2 and 2 on D and G. So that's going to be our bass for this. And throughout it, I kind of have the right hand going. Sorry for the glare. Kind of like, almost like you're strumming a little bit. But for now, let's just go over the notes, and we can add the rest of the chords, these two notes ringing out in later. So yeah, we have our A power chord, and let's just take that away for now and just start on our A string. So we have, you know, classic minor to major third, C to C sharp, which is the major third of A. So twice on A, open, 3, 4. You hear Jerry do that kind of, you know, minor, major third thing all the time, like Scarlet, or just used in a lot of bluegrass and blues, and yeah. So open twice, 3, 4. Then we go to the 5th E, 2nd fret of the D string, twice, and then another time, so 3 times actually, but the 3rd time, hammer on to that F sharp on the 4th fret of the D, and then snag that G string 2nd fret for A. And that's the first part. So open, open, 3, and those are all, most of them are all picked. Pick, 3, 4, 2, 2, and this is kind of like a hammer on, 2, 4, then the 2nd fret of the G. And that's the first part of the riff. And second part, I kind of play like same first part, A, C, C sharp. So open, open, 3, 4 on the A. And then 2 of the E's again, 2nd fret of the D string. Then we're going to hit the 5th fret right here. So what kind of makes it, you know, gives it dominant 7th sound, because it's a G. So mixolydian, dominant 7th kind of sound. After those 2, kind of slide down from this G to the F sharp. And it's kind of like a pull or slide, then pull off real quick. And then just repeats that. And then you want to add in those ringing out 2 and 2. You don't really want to hit the major third, which is the 2nd fret of the B. You can even block that out, kinda, by just letting your index finger touch it slightly. That way you can really get hitting all strings. You know, right now I'm only playing 3 notes, but strumming all of the strings by muting them all. You can use whatever. My thumb or middle finger can kind of mute the low E, and then the index finger can mute these top 2 B and E strings. So now you're going to want to get it like strumming and add those notes we just talked about in. So that but now with those 2 and 2, the extra 5th and octave, we're really just doing the same thing, but now letting that ring out. So this hand looks like And different live versions, you'll hear Jerry do little variations. I mean, I think this is the same as the studio version and a lot of live versions. Sometimes he'll play it in reverse or do one twice or whatever. But I like to, you know, standard. So, and then the right hand would look like this. By the way, sorry I'm filming in portrait. I need to get a better camera soon, but my phone doesn't want to switch over to landscape, so I know it sucks. Sorry. But the right hand would look like this without a glare, if I could do that. So you can even just practice that mute, like down, up, 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 down. You know, first get a hold of the hang of the just, and then add in the down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So that's, you know, the main riff. And then the verse chords. Since it costs a lot to win. So we have an A major. This time you can play that however you like to play A, you know. I think Jerry usually does this open one. You mean you could play it wherever. It's good to know all the places you can play A chords. Reminds me of Bobby and the Cage system. He loves those chords. But, so yeah, I like to do it like this. And I guess you could just do a normal A. I don't really like to let the high E string ring out. I like to just do open on the A and then 2, 2, 2 from the D to the B. And I kind of strum it like down, up. And then what's interesting is usually in the key of A major, you would have a C sharp minor. But we're going to play a C sharp 7, like dominant 7. And you could play it like this, but I hear a lot of times Jerry doing this shape, which is like a C7 shape. So if you don't know how to do that shape, take a C chord, assuming you know a C chord, and you add your pinky onto the G string 3rd fret over the C chord. And then we move that up 1 fret, and that's a C sharp 7. And we're once again going to try to mute. I mute the low E. And this is optional. You can try to just make sure you, sorry for that glare, you just hit the strings you need to, but I like to be able to strum all the strings when I'm strumming, and I know Jerry does that too. So in order to do that, you don't want to hit the open notes. Sounds bad. Like, I mean, it has its place. That would kind of make it a sharp 9 Hendrix chord, but we don't want that for this. I kind of you can either let your ring finger touch the low E and mute it. Remember, we're just touching it. We're not pushing down on it. Or my thumb can just touch it and mute it. And then my index finger on the 2nd fret can mute it. So once again, the chord is 4, 3, 4, 2. 4 on the A, 3 on the D, 4 on the G, and 2 on the B. And it's ring, middle, pinky, index. So A, C sharp 7, F sharp minor. I guess this is preference, but usually when I play minor bar chords, I like to leave out the root note. The bass player's got that covered usually, so, you know, usually the root and the 5th are, you know, the least colorful tones. You want the 3rds, 7ths, 9ths to be more of a thing. So I play it where you would bar 2, 2, 2 from the G to the E. So we have A, you know, C sharp and F sharp. And then adding these two, 4 and 4 on the A and D. It's like an F sharp minor bar chord, but so with the ring, 4 on the D, with the pinky, 4 on the D, and then barring the rest. So A, C sharp 7, F sharp minor, and these changes go quicker here. F sharp minor, A7. That chord eluded me for so long. If you look up tabs or chords or people playing online, a lot of people will play E there, and I don't think that sounds right. I think, thanks to Matthew Cole, who I asked him about that chord, if you hear it in context, A, C sharp 7, some people say F sharp minor, E, D, doesn't sound bad, but it's more of like a secondary dominant thing, where A, C sharp 7, F sharp minor, A7 sounds much better. And what I'm doing there is just, you know, open A, middle on the second fret of the D, open G, ring on the second fret of the B, open. So these are quick. D, I'm going to assume you guys know how to play D. If not, I'm sorry for not going over it. And then you can look at this next one as a D sharp diminished. And I've talked about in other videos, diminished chords are very interesting because if you go up, 3 frets, if you just keep going up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, or start here, go up 3 frets to the 4th, to the 7th, they're all the same chord. They all have the same notes in a different order. So there's only, you know, so many diminished chords. Because if we dissect this chord, just real quick theory nerd stuff, we have a D sharp, A, we have a C, and we have a F sharp. Now what if I go up here? We have the F sharp here, we have the C here, we have the, did I call it a D sharp or E flat? D sharp and then A. So the same exact notes. So sometimes when I'm covering it for fun, Jerry doesn't do it, or maybe he does, but I like to do like a, or, you know, you can add, those are all the same chords. Same with augmented, but they're 4 frets away. So it's interesting. That's why diminished works like that. There's only 4 of them, I believe. I could be wrong because you can play them at every 3 frets. But, so yeah, after the D, I would think of it as a D sharp diminished, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2. Index on the 1st fret of the D, ring on the 2nd fret of the G, middle on the 1st fret of the B, and pinky on the 2nd fret. So it's like 1, 2, 1, 2. And if you guys want me to talk more, if it helps when I say like G sharp, A, C, F sharp in later videos, let me know. So D, D sharp diminished, and then A, F sharp major. That's why the verse progression is so interesting, because it really doesn't, it's like, are we in A major? Are we in, you know, what specific key are we in? We're in A something. That's why Jerry always follows the chord changes really well. And quick note, if you want to see how he solos over it, I have a video on my channel of his Barton Hall Cornell, you know, 5/8/77 solo, and you can get an idea of how to respond to those weird F sharp and, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, you have to kind of focus on the notes you're playing over, like the C sharp 7, since usually a C sharp minor is in the key. So again, A, C sharp 7, F sharp minor, A7, D, D sharp diminished, then A, F sharp major. And I do the same thing here where I don't bar the whole thing, but just the basis can cover that low note. So that's just like our F sharp minor, but we're adding our middle finger to add the major 3rd on the G string at the 3rd fret. And then B, excuse me, smoke too much. But B, 2, 4, 4, 4. A, 2, D, 4, G, 4. B4. It's just like that A, but everything moves up 2 frets. You gotta remember the open moves up 2 frets too. So, and then D, so you just move that up to 3 frets. Or you could play it just as a standard open D. So we have A, C sharp 7, F sharp minor, A7, D, D sharp diminished, A, F sharp major, B, D, or like I said, B, D open. I just like the sound of that D. But yeah, I mean, if you want to do something fun, you could, from the A, when it goes from the A to that F sharp major, you can do like a walk down, like that's what I'm talking about with the kind of diminished fun stuff. And what I'm saying is, you could go, it works best to kind of do the A up here, like if you were to take the F sharp and just do it the 5th fret. And chromatic means hitting every note or every chord on the way down. 5, 4, 3, 2. So like, D, B, D. In the strumming pattern, if you want to know, just, you know, kind of like, it's all over the place, and you can really do whatever. I like, though, specifically on the C sharp 7 chord to do like a down. And you can even do this like, you know, right below it. Get those mutes in there where you just touch the strings lightly. That's Jerry does it a lot, where you just are blocking the strings in between the chords. Like I said, I just do that for fun, since those are all the same chords. But really, you just need that chord. So yeah, this would be D sharp diminished or E flat diminished, but you could also call it any of the other notes in the chord diminished. So D sharp diminished, it's also A diminished, it's also C diminished, also F sharp diminished. Kind of cool, right? So I believe there's 4 of those, but yeah. And then the chorus, we switched to more not more reasonable, but more easier. It's easier to tell the key signature instead of, you know, it's almost like jazz chords during the verse, you know. When you're soloing over that, you have to be conscious of the notes in each chord change. And the chorus, A, G, D, A, same A, and then I like to play the G where we have pinky and ring on E and B, and then, you know, ring or index finger on 2nd fret of A, and then on that low string, low E, we have our root or our middle finger. So, don't you let that deal go down. Wait until that deal goes down. A, G, D. And it sounds big if you kind of stop between them. A, G, D, G. And then back to, I've been gambling here about yeah, hope that helps. And if you want to get an idea of how to solo over it, I have tabs on that Cornell deal video. So hope that helps you guys. Take care. Also, if you want me to, if you ever really want to learn a solo or a song or a live, anything live, I'm willing to, you know, either do Skype lessons, or if you want to donate a little bit, I can try to transcribe whatever you want. So hit me up, join the group, and you guys have a beautiful day.